Hello GMS, welcome to this week's episode of Gmtv.
Hey GMS, this is your weekly Gmtv news. I'm Colin.
And I'm Eric. All 4 teams in GMS New Tech hosted an open house showcase last week. The students show off their projects and explain them to the guests. Team 6 till created a project that studied the holiday Dia de los Muertos. The students were ambassadors for the event and played the holiday to visitors. The holiday honors those who have died through telling stories and creating altars with photos and candles. This is part of their study of an ancient culture. The holiday can be traced all the way back to the Aztecs over 2,000 years ago.
There's an upcoming informational meeting about 2018 Peru trip. The meeting is 6 p.m. on November 14th in room 104. Please see Ms. Hicks with any questions.
The 8th grade English classes are finishing up their debate competition today. The students are debating against other students in other English classes. The debates are about topics that the teachers gave them, so we'll have a video next week for you guys.
The 4th graders at Model Elementary School learned nonfiction books about ancient Greece and ancient Rome. Last week, Team 6-1 took books they created to Model Elementary School. They also read their books to the students during the visit.
If you're interested in Ski Club, get to one of the offices today and pick up your sign-up sheet. This is a great activity. You get 6 trips to Swiss Valley for an evening of skiing or snowboarding.
GMS is hosting a food drive next week until November 24th. Not only do you get to help your fellow GMS students and other Goshen students, but if your class brings in the most items, you win a donut party. Josie and Jasmine have more information.
Hey guys, we're here to talk about our annual Goshen Middle School food drive. So, what is the food drive?
Okay, so the food drive is a way to help Goshen schools, not just the middle school, but we also give to the high school and elementaries to help families who on the weekend would not normally have food to eat. And this is our way of helping all students at the Goshen Middle School and other areas.
So, why do you think students should get more involved in the food drive?
Because believe it or not, there are families that kids don't have food on the weekends, or they don't have food during the various school breaks that we have. And so this is a way that you could help one of your classmates out.
How does helping and contributing to the food drive make you feel?
Well, it makes you feel great, but one advantage for the middle school kids is next week we'll be having a competition, and so the 3 highest classes will get donuts to eat. So you get all that extra sugar. That'll be great.
Thank you.
Tuesday was election day for the United States of America. The 8th grade social studies classes hosted a mock election to show you what it's like to take part in voting for a candidate. Jeanette and Layla have the results for us.
On Tuesday, November 8th, GMS held a mock election in hopes of giving students an idea of what it would feel like when they are finally able to put the ballot in the box for real.
Whoever was in the series came back from their knee injury. That was awesome.
Okay, here's what
Yeah.
we're going to be talking about. Don't forget to be good about it.
Sure.
Straight faces and tell people not to worry.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, I mean, I can't believe we won 7 games.
Guys, you are on camera.
Okay, back to the news. All right. The election results are in, and as of the time of this taping, Donald Trump is the current president-elect, having defeated Hillary Clinton in the Electoral College.
However, in the mock election for Goshen Middle School, you elected Hillary Clinton as president in the GMS mock election.
In the U.S. Senate race, Todd Young won, and in the mock election, Senator Evan Bayh won here at Goshen Middle School.
In the gubernatorial election, Eric Holcomb won, and the GMS mock election, that was John Gregg.
And last but not least, in the congressional election, Jackie Walorski held on to her seat in Congress. And in the GMS mock election, Jackie Walorski was defeated by Lynn Coleman.
So the results of this election are the most it's the closest election of our entire lifetimes. Not since 2000 have we had an election that's been this close. We here at GMS, we expect that as a result of this close election, that our students display no bullying behavior based upon who a person voted for, no insensitive racial remarks based upon a person's race or gender, and that we respect each other and we get along going forward.
And I'd like to remind that 8th graders, those of you that are 14, in 4 years when Donald Trump will be up again for re-election and you will have the choice to make between two candidates, you will have a say in that election. Make sure that you take the information that you learned on Tuesday for the mock election and use that 4 years from now.
It's also important to remember that the president is not the only officer in our government, and that in 8th grade history we're studying checks and balances and separation of power, and so the president doesn't just make all the decisions by himself.
And it's also very, very important, students, if you learn nothing else, it's very important to understand that elections are not the beginning and they're not the end. In fact, it's what makes our country what it is that we can voice our opinions so often, and that we have that peaceful transition of power to where when there's disagreements, we cut the cord and we move on, and then we make changes as needed. So this is your voice, your country.
What should kids know about Veterans Day?
Veterans Day is for any person who served in the military. And Veterans Day is kind of like a birthday for all military personnel. Whether you're a Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, Marines, Army, and it's just a special day set aside to honor the veteran, anyone who served in the military. So, and a lot of people get that mixed up with, you have to be a deceased veteran to be honored on Veterans Day. No, it's for any person served in the military in any fashion. That day was set aside for them as a birthday for the veteran.
What was your experience in the war?
I was in Vietnam from 68 to 69. I was Army, and my job, I was with the Entertainment Corps. I played with the Army Show Band, and our job as a band was to give some sort of, get rid of the war for a while and bring some happiness to the soldiers that were in the field or whatever their job was. And as a trumpet player, my other job was, I did a lot of ceremonial stuff for like division generals and commanders, and also for just the regular enlisted person in camp, because I was the Army bugler with the 1st Infantry. Plus that job, I also was asked to play for many memorial ceremonies, because there were the people that were killed over there. They had what you call ceremonies for the group, and so we would give a very respectful send-off back home for the soldiers that were killed over there. And my job was to play taps at all these memorial services. My job in the States, well, I played with the 74th Army Band at Indianapolis, Indiana. And so I would go all over the Midwest playing memorial services for soldiers that were killed in Vietnam. And I felt a little bad about the job that I had, because it was a pretty safe job. But after talking to guys that were infantry, that were maybe injured in Vietnam, they had a lot of respect for us soldiers that were entertaining them or were in support roles. So they made me actually feel quite good about my job, and I was able to do it with even more dignity and honor. So that's what I did in the war in Vietnam.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Hi, this is Sports with Lucy and Kate. So as you know, guys basketball started, and for each night they have a home game, we're going to be doing a theme. These are the themes that are going to become in order: superhero, Hawaiian, nerd, and whiteout.
Tie-dye, neon, ugly Christmas sweater, and big red.
Hope to see you there.
7th grade varsity boys basketball lost to Gymtown 47-43. Drew Hogan had 22 points and Isaiah Park had 8 points. 8th grade varsity boys basketball beat Gymtown 38-12. Reese Fisher had 12 points, Drew Worthman had 11 points and 8 rebounds, Colin Turner had 6 rebounds and 2 steals, and Mateo Machuca had 3 steals.
How do you feel about the team this year for basketball?
I think we're doing okay.
How do you think the season's going to go?
I think we're probably going to end up doing better because our coaches are really getting at us when we lose games.
How do you feel about your team this year?
I feel good with this team we have. We got good chemistry and good teamwork.
How do you feel that you're going to do this season?
I feel like we're going to do good this season. I'm feeling confident.
How do you feel about your team this year?
Our team's pretty good this year. We have a lot of good basketball players on our team.
How do you feel that you're going to do this season?
I think we're gonna do really good. Right now we're undefeated, 3-0.
Last week, Game 7 of the World Series took place at Progressive Field, home of the Cleveland Indians. The series was tied 3-3, and after an extra inning, the Cubs won 8-6. This ended a vast drought of 108 years of waiting for Cubs fans. It was a long wait for Cleveland too, but sadly it's not over yet. If you stayed up until 1 a.m. to finish the game, good for you, because you just witnessed history. Also, you might have seen my live tweets. If not, go check it out.
Get out of here! Okay? You know what? I need to go talk to Miss Esther!
This is what will happen if Hillary's president.
Vote Trump!
Oh my my goodness, did you see it yesterday? It was so crazy, right?
Oh my gosh, that episode of Hello Kitty, yes, that was so lit.
We were talking about
Dude, get out of here. We were talking about basketball.
football.
Yeah, like, just go. Nobody even talks to you. Get out of here. No,
Guys,
leave.
don't want to talk about the Hello Kitty
Just
thing?
go. Nobody
Wait, it is Hello
cares.
Kitty.
Get out. Dude, that game was so crazy.
Yeah. Good thing that you won.
What's up, guys? Are we talking about that basketball game?
Yeah, but did you see the Hello Kitty
Oh my
episode?
gosh, yes, my sister watched that. Oh my gosh, dude, that
It was so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Alright girls, we're looking at maps today. We've got a beautiful map up here on the screen. We've got some blue states and some red states and some purple states and Captain Awesome down here and this person over here. Things are going really well. Yeah. You know what? You two are great. Let's forget about it. You want some candy?
Yeah!
Awesome. Here you go.
Hey.
Enjoy. I'm gonna go sit down.
That's alright.
Oh my gosh, how was your weekend?
Like, it was so great. It was just amazing. How was yours?
Oh my god, it was awesome.
Jerk! Dirtbag! You're a dirtbag! No, you're the puppet!
Hey, you two sit down right now! Open up your textbooks to page 400. Read. Get your book.
I'm good.
You two have 10 minutes to read the rest of this book.
This is a nice book.
Alright guys, so what's our next project gonna be?
I know.
What's it gonna be?
We should do environmental disasters.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
because they seem important to our communities.
What do you suggest?
Donald Trump's fake hair.
Really?
Really? Get out of here, just go. Go.
Anyone else have any suggestions?
His name.
Person throwing the paper airplane in the back of the room, you shouldn't be doing that.
Okay, let's go.
Hi kids, welcome to your water bottle skit.
You're horrible at bottle flipping. Nobody likes you, not even your mother. I am ashamed to even be a human. I look at you every single day and cry. I am done with you. You suck. I'm ready.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun to get respect up on the street.
See you end of the yeah, alright. Now, it's me, your life. Swallow my nation, your last. I see, yo.
I'm back.
I play Pokemon Go every day. I play Pokemon Go. I play Pokemon Go every day. I play Pokemon.
Has to come to me and just harass me like that. I thought we had a thing, but clearly not. Lucinda is his girl. I'm out.
guys, thank you for being with us for this week's Gmtv episode. Have a good Friday and good weekend. We'll see you next week.
Ah!